Men is the latest nightmare from writer-director Alex Garland, who you might know from such just disturbing fucked up shit like Ex Machina or Annihilation, or probably my all-time favorite movie in the entire world, maybe 28 Days Later. He is probably one of the more original creators of sci-fi, horror / thriller. However, I'm only going to give Men, even though I'm such an Alex Garland fan, I think he is generally one of the more creative and original guys making films these days, but Men sort of left a sour taste in my mouth, and not in a fucking good way either. It was just missing something, so I can only give it 3 out of 5 Men's, because there's enough in there that makes me say, yeah, go and watch it, because it's fucking weird, but I would say it's less of a sci-fi, which Alex Garland is known more for his sort of surreal sci-fi stuff, and more of an art house film, which isn't really my style, but it looks pretty. Having Rory Kinnear play all these different characters, there's one bit in there which is fucked up, I'll talk about in a minute, doesn't quite work, but otherwise, he is a sensational actor. I would say, arguably one of the most underrated actors working today. So that's fun, just to watch the cinematography alone and how they pieced it all together and all the special effects and how they made it work. It's also absolutely terrifying. It's got excellent pacing, yet the ending leaves me wanting. And I don't need an explanation for everything. I'm not one of those guys that has to have everything spelled out. I like unendings, but this one was just, I don't know, it left me wanting a little bit more. Like I said, it left a sour taste, but there's enough in there to check it out. So, 3 out of 5 Kinnears. If you want to stick around to see how I came to that conclusion, then please do. Otherwise, fucking check out other ones. Check out my other videos. Or check out my other YouTube channel, Churu. It's like Aussie adventures, cooking, mucking around. If you want a little glimpse into my private life, I'm not sure why anyone would want that, but there's lots of good cooking stuff on there, foraging videos and stuff. Check it out. Otherwise, stick around. Now, there will be spoilers for the film Men. So the reason why I scored this lower than I would probably most Alex Garland films is because of the ending. It has sensational pacing. The horror is terrifying. It's very scary. It kept me on the edge of my seat. It's a little bit slow, but that's kind of Garland's sort of style. You know, it sort of has this pacing and this fucking extreme just nastiness and yuck. There's one scene in particular that I thought was a bit weird, where they had to VFX the face, do some face replacement for this little kid to make it look like Rory Kinnear or one of the men, and it looks like shit, to be honest. It just didn't work, but it was it's just one of those uncanny valleys, you know. CGI humans just never worked. There's a massive CGI disgusting thing at the very end of the film, all these babies are popping out of people and stuff, and it's really gross. You can still see that it was VFX, but it still worked. It was good enough for me, and it was just really gross, and that's cool. I like gross shit. Why I didn't score this so well, here's what I'll do. I'll say what I did like about it. It's shot really well. The cinematography is amazing. The music is terrifying. All Alex Garland films have this really minimalistic yet just horrifying soundtrack that works really well with the atmospheric stuff going on and the aesthetics of the whole thing. Rory Kinnear, like I said, and the lead actors, all the cast in this is brilliant. Rory particularly fucking steals the show. He's just he's so good, and he's so spooky and yucky in this. He's just gross. It works. It's fucked up. He's got a big dick in this. That's cool if you're into that sort of thing. Although it was attached to a weird little green man. Green Man. I love Green Men. I've got a hot sauce called Green Man's Brew. I love the mythology behind the Green Man, so that really worked for me. And yeah, generally, it's upsetting and makes you feel yucky. Where it fell short was, I don't know what point they were trying to make. There's a lot of symbolism and all this kind of shit going on. I don't really care for all that. I like sci-fi, and I kind of wanted to know what the deal was with the men. Now, I don't really think it needed to go down the usual path of explaining everything, saying it's an alien or it's a symbiosis thing. I don't need that, but would it have been nice to have some sort of intrigue and still left us sort of going, ooh, what could it be? But a little bit more explanation as to what the men actually were, instead of just throwing a bunch of symbolism down our throat. And some kind of point. I guess it's trying to make a point about misogyny and how nobody listens to the woman, and etc, etc, and that's great. We need more of that in our society. But I don't know even if that was the case in this. Maybe people are just just putting that on there, but it felt like there wasn't really a point. And not everything needs a point, but this felt like it was leading to a point, and then it wasn't a point. I'm like, where's the fucking point? And then nothing came of it. And again, there's no explanation how all the men are like this. Maybe the misogyny point they were trying to make was that all men are the same. So in this film, they all kind of look the same, kind of. But then I had the small town mystery, and this is the thing. I love a small town mystery. I'm a huge fan of stuff like Stranger Things, or I don't know, all kinds of small town mysteries really they really fucking get me going, you know? But I wanted there to be some sort of weird explanation as to why, or at least alluding to an explanation as to why all the men look like Rory. And it also would appear, this is why I think it was more symbolism than anything, it would appear that nobody recognizes that they all look the same. Like, there wasn't even a comment from the lead saying something like, oh, why is everyone looking the same? There wasn't any suspicion. There's other females in the town, and they seem to be on board with it all, so I think it was purely there to make some kind of a point, yet what was the point? Men are shit? Sure, men are shit a lot of the time. People are shit. But I don't really get what it was trying to say. Maybe I'm just a big old thickie, I don't know. But I couldn't figure it out. It has all the elements of a really good Alex Garland film, a really good psychological thriller. Not so much a sci-fi, but more of a supernatural thriller in this case. Yet, it left me wanting. It just didn't have everything there. Like, I think Ex Machina was fucking fantastic. Great pacing. Annihilation, again, had a weird unending what's going on. But this film was just beautiful to watch, yet I didn't really get it. Like, I don't get what the point of it was. Yeah, it just left me wanting. There's no other way to explain it. But I still recommend a watch. Watch everything Alex Garland's ever done or been involved with, because he's a fucking sick cunt. And Rory Kinnear, legend. Absolute fucking legend. Don't eat something that's going to upset your tummy, because there are some truly revolting moments in this. They're far and few between. It's more like just sort of jumping about, but when those moments happen, it's gross. Anyway, that's my fucking terrible drunken review on Men. So check it out. Check out my other videos. I know I haven't been putting out too much content lately. I've been really hammering my other YouTube channel, because that's kind of more fun for me to make, I guess. These are fun too, but that's me running around in the wild, in the bush, sort of collecting mushrooms. But that's always good fun. I've also got a lot going on in the real world, but if you are subscribed and you do regularly watch my content, I promise I will be cranking out more regular Jake's Play stuff soon. Just got to get past a few little life hurdles, and then we'll be back on track. So, thanks for watching. Cheers. I'll see you next time.